So this is a crazy week on AEW. I gotta say, man, right?
Oh man, so much stuff to talk about, and we're gonna do that because welcome back to AEW Aftershock. This is the show after the show where we're talking all about AEW Dark and Dynamite. I'm Brant,
And I'm Chris.
and you can check our social media links down there.
Hey!
What?
Just because you're doing the intros, what's your name?
What's my name? My name is Brant.
No.
Oh.
No. I'm Chris Falcon.
I forgot.
Who are you?
I am
The amazing.
gonna come back in another week with a name. You know what? Let's just put it out to the audience. What should my name be? You guys know me. Yeah, well, I'm not saying I'm gonna use whatever you say, but I'm looking for suggestions. You tell me what should my name be. You know me. Last Name Press, Brant Fowler. You guys know me. What should my name be? Chris Falcon. For Chris and Celestial Falcon, obviously. But so, what should my name be? They're gonna come back with like Brant Ember. That's totally what I'm gonna
the last Fowler.
The last Fowler. Well, let's hope not. But
we good. No, go ahead.
No, that's all.
It's gonna be funny.
Yeah,
no, you were gonna go. Go ahead.
No, that's all I was saying, really. But anyway, let's get into the show because we do have a lot to talk about. Mm-hmm. And before we get into talking about the shows, we actually have some questions.
No, we have one.
We have one question
that
and
leads into
one topic suggestion. So we'll put
that's actually a good way to put it. It's a topic. So Alan Mullins asked us to talk about the Twitter war that's going on between fans of AEW and WWE. I should leave that up while we're talking about it. Why not? So AEW's been around now for 4 weeks, and as everybody knows, it's running up against WWE's NXT.
Yes,
that's on USA.
Yes,
and
at least the first hour.
I'm sorry.
At least the first hour.
At least, yeah, that's right. The first hour. The second hour is what do you call it? TNT stays for 2 hours, and the other's on the WWE network. But a lot's been going on, and I talked a little bit about this with Alan. But again, I wanted to bring this out to everyone because I think it's a topic that Brant and I both can share our thoughts on. And really quick, the fans, obviously, of WWE, NXT, AEW live tweets all Wednesday night from the moment before the show goes live all the way through till way after the show's off the air, till about 1 a.m. And a lot of the WWE fans are coming in and throughout the Twitters where they're asking questions or where they're showing moments or where they're questioning superstars. Somebody will come in, and I noticed it this week, talking about how one day WWE is just going to buy AEW just like WCW. It's not going to last because WWE is so much this, that, and the other thing. But that's not why I was reached out to talk about this, because our good friend Alan, on the flip side of things, now Alan is a huge WWE fan. Brant still watches WWE. I lost interest in WWE. I fully admit that. But Alan has seen in WWE wrestlers, superstars, Twitters, whenever they show disdain, whenever they show they're upset, or even the big rumor that Randy Orton's going to AEW, a lot of the AEW fans are going and saying, quit WWE, go to AEW, it's better. Or AEW is better than WWE, it's not the same, washed up matches over and over and over again. Vince McMahon doesn't have his hands in it. A lot of like AEW is better than WWE, and now the WWE fans are doing the same thing with AEW, and they probably were doing it before. I just started to take notice of it because talking with Alan. And and it's not the companies. AEW does put their little jabs in, but I'm sure WWE does exactly the same thing. I mean, Sami Zayn pretty much put the whole name out there in that interview he did on Miz TV. So
Seth Rollins throws little digs here and there too.
And he does?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. Well, I haven't watched. So
his are much. Well, no, I mean, just like on social media, just his are a little bit more subtle. But he'll say stuff like, I don't know, just like little things like best wrestling in the world. We have the best wrestling in the world, and that kind of stuff.
Right. Again, when it comes to fans, it's you have fans that are passionate about WWE. You have fans that are passionate for AEW. The question then becomes, where is the line drawn? And unfortunately, it's the internet. You're going to get the good, the bad, the ugly, the toxic. And in this situation, AEW is new. The fans, while the companies aren't fighting each other, the fans, however, of course, are going to come up in war and come up in arms. The fans of AEW are going to defend it to the death, and the fans of WWE that have been there for however many years, that are still fans of WWE, are going to come to their defense and mention that, Vince will buy out AEW once TNT or once it dies out. It's going to happen.
Here's what I don't get, and it's something that we learned in the Monday Night Wars with WCW, right? When there's competition, everybody is elevated. Everybody does their absolute best to try to get the attention of the fans, so the product on both ends is exponentially better. So why would you be upset with there being competition at all?
And why would you not? Doesn't. They don't care.
Yeah,
they're doing their own thing,
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, as far as the fans go, if you're whichever product you're a fan of, why wouldn't you be happy that there's another alternative on that level that you can now know that there's going to be that competition that's going to drive things to be better and stronger?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. 100% agree with you.
This industry, the wrestling industry, was never bigger than it was in the late 90s during those Monday Night Wars because of that reason. We could see that again. We could see people coming back to wrestling and starting that all up again as AEW grows. They're not there yet. But when they get there, that could be a possibility. So it always baffles me that people are like, it's either this or this. And I'm more like, I'm going to take this when it's good, and I'm going to take this when it's good,
And me, I'm not a fan of WWE anymore. It's just not my preference. Yeah. But will I sit there and crap on it? We've compared, we've talked about WWE. There were bad moments, but I'm positive. And this is going into another thing I wanted to talk about. A lot of people out there that are now covering AEW are saying, don't listen to this, that, or the other things. Don't listen to people who are going to tell you AEW is the only best, wrestling out there. And I'm here to tell you all, as much as I love AEW, and it's the only wrestling show that I keep up with every single week now for an exact month. I've been keeping up with it both on YouTube, on the side shows from Sammy Guevara and Being the Elite, to watching the actual show on Wednesday nights. It's my thing. I love it. I'm enjoying it. I like the superstars. I love the wrestlers, in this case, that are involved with AEW. And I feel like my passion for wrestling is back, watching AEW. Does that mean that I think WWE is a complete pile of garbage and all those years of build? No, I think WWE is its own thing, not my thing. It never really was. I grew up watching WCW. Everybody knows that. Yeah. I grew up during the NWO era. And when the NWO era ended, I started to fall out of WCW too, because WCW, well, they got Vince Russo, but besides Vince Russo, there was a bunch of other things that WCW started doing wrong.
Yeah.
And you could see that as a kid growing up, and then you're starting to see all this new type of WCW, the logo changed, the feeling of the show changed. And as much as I love WCW, I started watching WW at the time, F. And then WCW got bought by WWF. WWF became WWE. I stuck around for a while, and then things just started to fall out for me. I loved the DX era, the return, the renewed D-Generation X era. I love that from WWE. It just all, Brett and I have done shows talking about WWE, and progressively I lost interest.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was usually when a nostalgic element came back that you got interested, like Goldberg and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, when you would have those remnants of the past. But yeah, go ahead.
Exactly. No, and I'm just saying, this is not a Mark show. AEW Aftershock is us talking about, and Brand will give his side. I'm sorry, I don't want to talk over you, Brand. I'm just going to say, we're not marked. We will call crap when there's crap, and we will call amazing when, and this is our opinion also. Everyone forms their own opinion about whatever they watch, whatever they do, whatever they read. We're just here sharing our opinions and our thoughts each and every week about all the stuff that we've watched from AEW.
Yeah, no, totally. And I completely agree with that. It's since episode 1, we've kind of said, okay, it's not perfect. They can work on this or that, but this is what we really like. And the reason that we started doing this show was I got really excited about AEW in the first place when I started hearing the buzz, and I watched the press conference when they were announcing all their signings and all this stuff, and it just felt different. It felt like something special, and I wanted to be on the ground floor. And I got Chris to watch it, and he fell in love with it. And we were just like, we got to talk about this because, there's plenty of people talking WWE. This is new. And this is something that we're both enjoying, and it's something like you said, Chris, that brought you back into wrestling. So it's something that we can share again, because when you fell out, it was like, okay, I don't really have anybody to interact with as far as wrestling because none of my friends watch it. It's like nobody in my circle is a fan. So it's like I don't have that anywhere. so it was like very insular for me. So when AEW came about, it's like, man, now that Chris is watching it, I've got somebody to talk to. Now we're going to do this show. That's why we're doing this, because, it's a common bond, and we're really, truly enjoying the product that they delivered. But it's not perfect. It's got a long way to go, but it's different, and it is special, and it does feel like we're at the start of something big.
And what happens in the future happens in the future, whether AEW, I don't think it's going to sink, but if it rises to the occasion and it becomes, something that is, you say WWE, automatically people start thinking of AEW. I mean, people started thinking about New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, Kenny Omega was part of the revolution to get people to recognize New Japan, and Ring of Honor. All of the talented wrestlers at Ring of Honor, what Ring of Honor is. Anyone who says Ring of Honor, whether you watch Ring of Honor or not, it exists. So everyone knows about Ring of Honor and Lucha Underground. I even knew about Lucha Underground before I even found out about New Japan Wrestling.
Yeah, same. And Chikara, there's all kinds of cool places, cool wrestling.
AAA, where Kenny Omega won the title last week. Yeah.
And you got to throw Impact in there if you're going to talk about wrestling promotions.
Oh, Impact, of course. We've talked about TNA Impact. We actually started 1, 2, 3 adding TNA into the mix. Yeah,
exactly. So it's like, I don't know. For me, I've been a lifelong wrestling fan. I've watched it all, whether it was CWA, USWA, WCCW, WCW, NWA, you name it, I watched it all my life since I was 6 years old. So I'm a wrestling fan.
You are an all-around wrestler. If anything, you are the one on this show that has no bias or no this is better than that, because you've watched it all.
Yeah, and I still watch WWE. I don't keep up with it as consistently as I am Dynamite, because I'm enjoying Dynamite better at the moment, but I do still watch it. I actually caught up on Raw this morning. So it's like I'm still a fan of good wrestling. There are wrestlers in WWE that I really enjoy watching. AJ Styles, Ricochet, Randy Orton I actually really like. So there's different people there that I enjoy. But I don't know. We're going way too far into this WWE stuff, I think. But
we are.
The fact of the matter is we're both enjoying AEW, and we want to talk about it. That's it. And we're going to call it for when it's not good. We're going to call it for when it's great. That's all there is to it.
Exactly. And that's what the premise of this show is, which I think we've talked, like you just said, enough about all this. Let's actually get into AEW this week.
Yeah, AEW Dark, we'll start with that. We had 3 matches this week. 2 of them were pretty solid. One of them we actually had issues with. So there you go.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that.
Before we get into the matches, it was so great to see Taz back. I wish they would bring him on as a permanent announcer for Dark. I know he didn't talk a lot, but I loved when he was an announcer before, and I like him on the mic.
Yeah, and I think he's actually gotten better. He's improved.
Yeah,
and he knew the product. He knew the wrestlers. I mean, and he knows his stuff. So, yeah, why not? Bring Taz in. I would love to see that.
I would be happy to see him once a week on Dark. I'm sorry. I really loved having him on. So if AEW is thinking about it, I think the fans would be very happy with it too. I really do. I think we would love to see him back as a full-time. Yeah,
bring him back on Dark. And then later on, if they progress to where they have 2 shows, maybe consider him for that position.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then you'd have to find a partner for him, because I don't think Excalibur can do unless we get like JR and Tony Schiavone and Excalibur to do like a big old swap around every week or something.
Yeah, something. I'm sure they could figure something out. All right, so we got our 3 matches. Unless there was something else you wanted to say.
Only other thing I would love to say is I'd love to see Bobby Heenan back.
Bobby Heenan.
Not Bobby. The other one. It was on WCW. It was Tony Schiavone, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and there was another person. I said the wrong name.
Yeah, because Bobby Heenan.
Mike Tenay.
Mike Tenay. Yeah.
Thank you. I would love to see Mike Tenay come back. He was in TNA for a while. I'd love to see him jumping in every once in a while with Tony Schiavone and JR.
Yeah, Professor Mike.
I'm sorry. God rest Bobby Heenan. I'm sorry. Yeah. It just left me completely wild.
Yeah. Yeah, you were thinking WCW, and he was one of the voices. So yeah, it threw me there. I was like, what? But yeah, no, that would be cool too. Yeah, just take everybody that Impact is losing.
Impact lost Mike Tenay?
I don't have a clue. I think so. Yeah, I think he left a while back, didn't he?
Okay, I don't know.
Because Josh Matthews is the lead announcer over there.
Okay, I had no clue about that. I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched it in a long time, so who knows? Maybe he's back with them. They lost Taz apparently. All right, so we got Joey Janela and Brandon Cutler. I actually I didn't think this match was that great either.
I thought it was. I mean, after watching Joey Janela and Kenny Omega, you have high hopes.
Yeah,
you'd see another. Joey Janela was awesome, but I feel like Brandon Cutler's a little stiff in the ring.
Yeah,
a little stiff.
Yeah, he is. It's almost like he's. I mean, I think he's been wrestling for a while, so it's almost like maybe he's got some ring rust, or maybe he needs more. Maybe it was the big lights being on TV and all that. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I completely agree with you. I think he's a little stiff, and he lost his footing a few times when he was trying to.
Yeah, and Sammy Guevara made fun of that, but his first match, like from the first from Dynamite, making fun of him slipping off the ropes on being the Elite, which then vice versa. Brendan Cutler made fun of Sammy Guevara on Sammy Guevara's show. So,
yeah. So I think maybe he just needs a little bit more ring time. Maybe keep him on dark for a little bit.
Oh yeah, maybe a little more dark. Yeah, or yeah. No, that works. Yeah, get him back into the ring, get him used to it a little more.
Yeah, because I don't think right now that he's ready to be on Dynamite. He needs a little work. But Joey Janela, man,
I love Joey Janela.
I'm telling you, every time I see him, I like him a little bit more. He's improving so much, and he's like shows me different things.
He was great in the wrestling. I watched previous matches of all the wrestlers that interest me.
Yeah.
And wow, Joey Janela takes a beating and then just comes back for more.
Yeah, he's a unique guy. Just the way he wrestles and everything is just very unique, and his gimmick's very unique, and all that stuff. So I enjoy him. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Again, Brandon Cutler was a little stiff, and that's what kind of took a little bit away from the match. But still, it was an okay match. Like again, Joey Janela is the one that shined here, and he won the match. Yeah, so, which I'm glad too, because I feel bad for Joey. The first couple of matches he was in, he lost. So it's nice to see that he won one.
Yeah, but at least a couple of those were lights out matches, so they didn't really count.
Yeah, they don't count, at least on his record. That's true.
Yeah. All right, so we got the other match, the match that neither one of us were crazy about, which is the Librarian Leva Bates versus Nyla Rose. And
oh God, where do I even start with this one? Oh,
I see. Okay, my thing is, you're not as familiar with her. I know Leva Bates from other places and stuff, and I want to like her because she's even been in NXT a few times. She's been all over, but this match, man, it did not showcase. Either one of them really.
It was very sloppy. It was very like you could tell that the fake blows were. I mean, like literally, some of those shots Nyla really played off.
Oh yeah.
Too well. I mean, it reminded me of women's wrestling earlier on before the women's revolution a little bit.
Yeah.
And what sucks is you watch Riho wrestling, you watch Britt Baker wrestling. We'll talk about that when we get to Dynamite. You watch all these other this match, definitely glad it was on Dark. It was a bit sloppy, and it doesn't showcase either wrestler because Nyla Rose, I've seen her wrestler as well, and she's really good. So it was it was very sloppy. I felt there were trip ups. There,
yeah. I felt like Nyla was trying to carry Leva, and it just wasn't working out. And no disrespect to Leva, because I know she's been at this for a while, and I know she's better than this, and that's kind of what kind of aggravates me about it. I don't know. I don't know if maybe this was the first time they worked together, and it was just off, or what was going on. I really don't know.
Maybe a mismatch. I mean, because Nyla is a strong. I would like to see her against like Awesome Kong or something. You see her against the Librarian, and she's like a twig, you know.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Leva Bates, the whole Librarian gimmick is just a joke gimmick, right?
It is. And if you watch Being the Elite, there was a whole reason why there were 2 Librarians instead of 1, and Leva Bates is one of them.
Yeah. And the sad thing is neither one of them are that great on the mic, the Librarians. Peter Avalon's a little bit better.
We don't talk about Peter Avalon.
I know. It's just it was a little cringeworthy, that match. So Anyway, but let's talk about a good match, which was the main event. Another 8-man tag team match. They love doing these on Dark. I think we've had one on every single episode so far.
I mean, it's Dark, so it's more like these are supposed to be matches that aren't televised. So I feel like, well, let's start the match and I'll explain why I feel like this is why it was a Dark match. Yeah,
okay. So we got the Young Bucks and Cody and Dustin Rhodes versus the Private Party and Strong Hearts, which is Shima and T-Hawk. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a pretty fun match.
Exactly. It was fun, and it was not serious. It wasn't something like you'd see on Dynamite. This was more for the fans. Laughs, everything all in one.
This is what you would see at a house show.
Exactly. And it was showcased, which is even better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but when Cody got that chop from and he fell out of the ring, went over the railing and just sat in the crowd for a second, I was dying. I was dying.
This you would never ever see this in WWE. not
even at a house show.
Not a house show. They would get in so much trouble. Man, that was just that is why though that the Elite are so endearing to the fans, because they do stuff like that.
And they reach out to them.
Yeah, they are, because they consider themselves basically just fans that happen to be wrestlers. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that, because there was and you didn't see it yet, I'm positive, because it came out last night. Every once in a while, Being the Elite, they do those sit downs and talks with other wrestlers.
Yeah.
They sat down and talked with the Best Friends, ironically, the team that they fought this week. So they sat down and talked with them. And I'll tell you, I can relate so much to Matt and Nick Jackson. It's scary. They grew up watching wrestling the exact same way I did. NWO came out, and they didn't even care about WWE. All they watched was WCW, and they were fans, hardcore fans of WCW.
Yeah.
That was me. And they were like, oh, I wanted to be a wrestler. That was me when I was younger. And then they said that they do stuff when they were outside in the backyard if they have mats. That was me. And one of the stories was, oh, God, I'm trying to remember. Oh, they were talking with the Best Friends, and they're like, it's funny because the previous generation, like Bret Hart, and these were not, wrestling wasn't out yet. So these were people who were weight trainers or bodybuilders that fell into wrestling.
Mm.
Now all the fans of wrestling are becoming wrestlers. So now this is the generation of wrestling fans who wanted to also become wrestlers.
Yeah. No, totally.
So that's why I think this generation is really huge, because they were in the stands once.
Yeah.
Now they're the ones in the ring.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's like your Hulk Hogan, Sting, Ultimate Warrior, all them, they were bodybuilders. You're totally right.
One joke that one of the Best Friends said, I'm sorry, the one with the goatee. Do you know the Best Friends, who both of them are?
Yeah, Trent and Chuck.
Trent said, if Hulk Hogan does not have skin cancer, there is no such thing as skin cancer. Because all the tanning he does.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist if he doesn't have it. I died. That was the best moment of that interview, was at the end where he's like, because they were talking about tanning and how the Young Bucks use a spray tan. They don't go out and tan.
Right.
And then it just came up, well, if Hulk Hogan doesn't have skin cancer, it doesn't exist.
It is true. I mean, that dude's almost as orange as Donald Trump, but
that's what they were saying. I loved it. But the match was just, it was for the fans. It was by fans. And it was just great. And no one would touch Dustin at all. No one. They knocked the whole team down.
When he took a breather. He took
a breather. When he
power slams and he's like, wait.
Wait.
And then he does the fourth one.
Like, okay, go ahead. And then he does.
It was hilarious.
I love that he's playing up his age, because obviously he could have done it, but he chose not to and play up his age a little bit.
Totally. I mean, this was the best that I have seen the Rhodes brothers ever, because they were just themselves, and it was just hilarious and fun. And I mean, and to their credit, their opponents were equally.
Oh, humorous. Absolutely! I loved watching the Strong Hearts. They were fun to watch too. I mean, that guy with the brick smack him.
Oh man!
And you could hear it. I mean, you feel it. It's like little. Yeah. And I swear, and I said this before, I'll say it again. The screaming, the screaming that guy does, the screeching like the girls' level height.
Yeah,
that has to stop. It's stop.
It's a little weird. Yeah, we keep talking.
Annoying and a little weird. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, Private Party's showing me something too, man. We talked about them last week. They came out this week too. I still love that move that they do, where they do the Hurricane Rana off the top and land it in a cutter. It's just beautiful to watch.
But the Young Bucks, they've got moves and they had another match on Dynamite. I mean, they've got moves that they just. The flips and the flop, I couldn't. I mean, I don't think I'd ever be that good.
Jackson's insane, man. He's just insane.
Yeah, he is. He's the older brother, right? Or are they twins? Or
no, Nick's younger.
Nick's the younger brother?
Yeah, I think Matt's the older one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're only maybe 2 years apart.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, I wouldn't believe that maybe 3 at most, because that's like Michael and I are like 2 and a half. Yeah. So I would believe 3, but beyond that, I wouldn't believe it, because they both seem close enough.
Yeah, I think they're really close in age, but yeah, I think Matt's a little bit older. But man, Nick is just dude. I mean, you think that Jeff Hardy is someone that takes risks?
They fought the Hardys too.
Yeah, I know. Nick Jackson is just like, I don't even care, man. He just does everything on instinct. Just like,
and Matt Jackson had his neck broken.
Yeah.
They don't care. They come back. He came back. I think he took a couple of weeks off. He came right back, right after surgery, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know he's had back problems too.
Mm-hmm. But obviously the fan favorites won.
Yeah, of course.
That out there. And it was a great match. It was enjoyable. It was a dark match, so you don't have to take it seriously. And it was just great. It was great. And then the only other thing Dark does really well is they highlight, if you miss Dynamite, like they'll highlight most of the show in between the second and last match, or was it between the first and second match, or both?
I don't remember exactly where it is, but they do that, and they also have the
Cody's. You're gonna say it. Cody's from undesirable
to undeniable. Yeah, I've loved these segments so far.
Oh yeah, they make you want to cry.
Yeah. This guy, I mean, I think last week's was a referee, Audrey. Yeah, Audrey. And this week, I think his name was QT Marshall.
I think so.
Yeah, he was a wrestler in Ring of Honor, and then he became just like behind the scenes guy, and now he's in AEW, and he's actually going to wrestle again.
He's like everything now.
Yeah, and he had like this whole story as to, he left everything, gave up everything, put all in on this and everything. It was a really inspirational story and cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing his in-ring debut.
Oh, absolutely. It's just great when you have crew that are not only there for wrestling, they're there to help backstage. They're there. Yeah. You've got a really loyal. That's one thing AEW has, is a loyal. Yeah. A loyal crew, whether it be wrestlers, backstage, referees, everything.
It's because everybody feels like they're part of something special. They feel like they're part of what do you call it? An uprising, kind of.
And I hope that never changes the special part, because once you start, your head gets bigger, and you gotta hope that doesn't happen. But when your head starts to expand a bit, and you're like, oh, now everybody, like when AEW becomes, synonymous with other wrestling companies, and it's not an up and coming anymore. It's been established for X amount of years. You hope that special feeling, that backstage, the loyalty and everything, that stays, that feeling doesn't change to like it's a corporation. You know what I mean?
Totally. I completely agree. And the beautiful thing about it is it's run by people that are fans of the product, and they're not just trying to make money.
Exactly.
And that's no dig at anyone.
No.
It's just the nature of the business. And I'm not saying at all that people in the other companies aren't passionate about wrestling, because why do it if you're not?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's a different vibe with AEW right now, and even their money people, Tony Khan, seems like very passionate about wrestling.
Oh, yeah. He's super passionate from what I hear backstage about that and about his football team.
Yeah.
God bless him. He's got energy and passion, and the man goes without coffee. He just got that passion without. I hate to see him on 12 cups of coffee in a day.
So yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just something different. And I keep saying that. I don't know how else to articulate it. It's just something.
It is.
It is what it is. And like you said, I hope that they keep that when they grow, and they're like, if they get to that point where they're a multi-billion-billion-dollar company or something, I hope they keep that. I really do.
Me too.
All right, so let's get into Dynamite.
Yes.
Some stuff happened. Yeah.
Stuff happened, and it was. By the way, and I'm only going to keep saying this until it stops, and I'm not saying it's never going to not happen. It's going to happen one day, but I still could say it as a person who's on Twitter tweeting back and forth with AEW the whole night long. AEW #1 trending for the 4th week in a row. Yeah. It's going to happen. And I'm not sitting there saying it's never going to, not happen. It's going to happen one day where it doesn't make trending, I'm sure. But for now, I'm going to enjoy it for however long the streak lasts.
Yeah, absolutely. And why not? I mean, they're doing that well. So let's praise them while they are.
Oh,
yeah. We got Cody Rhodes. Cody. He just goes by Cody.
Yeah, he's still fighting WWE to get his last name back. I hear that.
Which is that's ridiculous.
That's kind of a little petty on their part, but whatever. But man, he has an announcement, and I'm wondering what that is. We didn't find out.
No.
Oh, we didn't mention that Jericho and the Inner Circle were there at the very beginning. They showed up right after the first match. I guess we'll get into the matches after we talk this.
Yeah, it was during the match, actually. The match went on, and all of a sudden Jericho and his entourage just start walking up the thing to the VIP box.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No. And then Cody was talking, and they were using those like the horns to interrupt him. So he had a big announcement, didn't make it.
Oh, I gotta say,
Go ahead, say it.
I love how he says, "This isn't that other company where this is an invisible barrier that I can't just step out of and walk up there." It was like, oh my God, he went there.
That made me go, yes.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff, man, because it really is like this invisible thing. Oh, get in this ring or I can't fight you.
Yeah. He's like, I'll come right up there. And he's like, well, there's 4 of us and only 1 of you. And then Dustin comes out. MJF comes out, and then DDP comes out. And I'm like, oh my God, is he coming back to wrestling? My mom, who loved WCW, heard DDP, and she comes walking in the room like, he's back. I'm like, he could be. I don't know. But he's there right now.
It's like when they were saying that, when Jericho was saying that, it's 4 against 1 or whatever. I was like, okay, we're gonna get the Young Bucks. We're gonna get
I thought the Young Bucks
were gonna get but it's like, no, what the so it was pretty awesome. It was a pretty cool moment. And then you get them coming up there and breaking glass, man, taking name.
I mean, if you're gonna run and hide behind a door, make sure the door is not made of complete glass, a humongous glass window.
Yeah.
Poor MJF's scarf didn't get ripped.
We gotta mention the Dippin' Dots.
I tweeted at Dippin' Dots that they promised if because Cody was fighting Jericho and put his head into the Dippin' Dots thing, they're like, please don't hurt Dippin' Dots, and we'll make a flavor named after you. Oh my God. something and Road
Rocky Rhodes.
Rhodes.
Yeah.
With the Rhodes last name, and I'm like, okay, I need this in my shop. Dippin' Dots owes us now.
Oh
you
man,
owe us now.
I love me some Dippin' Dots, man.
I will buy those if they make an AEW one.
Absolutely, give me some Rocky Roads.
Yeah,
Oh man, it was so good. That whole fight, and it was part of it was goofy. It was just like sticking his head in ice cream and all that stuff, but it was fun, and it was just I don't know. It's like leading to something. I just love that whole altercation. That I'm gonna come up there and we're gonna throw out all the rules, all these made up rules, and we're just gonna come up here and throw down. And I love that. I love it.
Absolutely, I love that. Was and then they went and another thing that's invisible to the other company most of the time. They went outside of the ring and were beating the crap out of the inner circle in the freaking whatever that area is called, where they walk to get to their seats.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. I don't understand what Jericho was doing, licking the ticket and putting it on his head, but I mean, hey, his head was just stuck into a Dippin' Dots thing. He might have had like a major case of brain freeze. So he's like, I'm gonna stick it on my head.
I got a ticket. You can't attack me. I bought a ticket. We bought tickets.
Yeah, but you're still You're still on the roster, so you're just as screwed as anyone else that was on the roster as a ticket holder.
Yeah, I think it was maybe like a tongue-in-cheek stab at some other companies, a little bit like, oh, I bought a ticket, so I get to be anywhere in the crowd. And,
it was.
I bought a ticket.
But I thought there was something they were going to do, and I'm wondering if we might see something on Dark, because they were like, we have something planned. And Jake Hager wasn't there because he's competing. He was competing, I think, tonight. As a matter
MMA, right? Yeah.
MMA. So he wasn't there. I thought he was hiding backstage. I didn't even know he was competing in MMA, or I would have known right away he wasn't there for that.
I thought they said something about that, or maybe I heard it on somewhere else. But yeah, I didn't know that. So yeah, at first I was wondering too. I was like, why is Jake not there? Is he just going to come out and run out or something? But yeah. So the matches. Let's talk about the matches because that was cool. We're leading up to Full Gear where Chris Jericho and Cody are going to throw down for the title.
It was another tag team night.
Yeah, it was another tag team
tournament. We had the 2 tournament ones in the beginning. Well, let's do the 2 in the tournament. Let's talk about the tournament one.
Yeah, Lucha Brothers and Private Party. Mm-hmm. And man, I can praise the Lucha Brothers till the cows go home, just always. But again, Private Party, yeah, exactly. Private Party showed me something here, though.
Yeah, they kept them down. Yeah. I mean, they gave them. I mean, for real, I thought Private Party was going to pull an upset. I wanted the Lucha Brothers to win because I wanted them to fight SCU. Honestly,
yes, exactly.
If SCU won against the Dark Order, because I've only seen them wrestle once before, but we'll get to that. That was the next match.
Right,
man. Private Party, I could have sworn to you they were going to win.
And that's the beautiful thing about it, because any of them could, and it's like you're not beholden to these storylines. Like it's not predictable. Mm-hmm. So even though the storyline that they're kind of showing play out in the ring and on the ramp shows that you're probably leading to a Lucha Brothers versus SCU, and we do get that. But you as you're watching it, you can actually believe that, hey, maybe they're not going to go that way. And it could actually end up this way because they were killing it. Private Party was killing it. But ultimately Lucha Brothers did win and they will advance, but that puts Private Party in contention for sure for that title.
It does, and it also puts the opposite team. Well, let's get into that, and then I have an idea for a number 1 contenders match. An idea.
Okay. Yeah.
But I just want to say with Lucha Brothers real quick, that was it. I mean, they were tweeting out so many of the crazy moves that were happening. It was high flying from both sides, not just one, both. It was crazy, insane, and the screaming again.
Yeah, well, of course the screaming, but man, I gotta agree though with the announcers. Ray Phoenix, that dude, man, he's just got moves for days. Moves for days. That's why when you put the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers, it's just like you're getting an amazing show, and it's
definitely.
And Private Party right there up on that level, man. They're another one that gets better and better every time I see them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Now SCU versus Dark Order. This was opposite of Lucha Brothers and Private Party. It wasn't high flying. It was a slobber knocker, brutal, like blow for blow fest.
Yes.
Although I will say Ray. Was it Ray Phoenix? No, not Ray Phoenix. Not
From
Joey Janela, his partner. Oh my God.
it's Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky.
Scorpio Sky. He was a bit high flying, actually.
Yeah.
He had some technical moves in his entourage.
Yeah, which he showed us like when he came in last week and helped him out,
Mhm.
or maybe it was a week before, I don't remember. But yeah, no, they're a solid team, man. These two, Frankie and Scorpio, and
Oh yeah.
like I told you last time, the more I see of Scorpio, the more I like.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude is like, I mean, he's big, he's muscular,
Yeah.
he's strong, but he can fly, and it's beautiful. His the guy that he looked up to and why he took his name is from Too Cold Scorpio from WCW. I don't know if you ever saw Too Cold Scorpio. It was pre NWO, I think.
Pre NWO, I saw a little bit of because of Sting.
Yeah. Did you ever
not enough of it?
Did you ever see a guy in WWE named Flash Funk?
Yeah.
That's Too Cold Scorpio.
Okay.
But
Okay.
But he didn't have that cheesy 70s gimmick. He was just a wrestler. And he was like the first one in the US at least that was doing the 450 splash.
Okay.
So Scorpio Sky looked up to him, and that's where he gets his name Scorpio from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of similarities in that because Too Cold Scorpio was a big, strong dude who could fly too.
Gotcha.
But, yeah.
There's another thing that's from olden days on the tag belt. The side panel has one of the wrestlers. I forgot who it was. They were tweeting about it. Matt and Nick Jackson. Oh no, they were talking about it on the show I was telling you about, where they were reminiscing about WCW.
Yeah.
I forgot what wrestler. He works in back with them, and he calls them every time there's a match. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. But he's one of his finishing move is on the tag team.
Oh yeah. You and I had talked about that.
Yeah, and that's really cool. I saw they showed pictures of the tag belts. They look freaking spectacular.
Yeah. All their titles look really cool.
Well, they only have three.
Yeah, but they're like throwback. They're throwback to like those old school where it looked like something special.
Yeah, I left my title out this week. You know what? Nope, can't do it. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the Dark Order, I mean, the Dark Order is probably my least favorite tag team in AEW so far. But
yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah, but I thought they were still solid here. And that big dude that can move around, he's
something Uno.
Yeah, jeez, what is his name? That's gonna bug me now.
Last Uno, was it?
It's something Uno. You're right about that. I can't remember his actual name. I was trying to see if it was in this this write-up that I have. Okay, go ahead with your title belt. I know you want to show it.
No, I did. No. I put it in my background. That's all I wanted to do.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to show it.
No.
Okay.
I showed it last week. Everybody saw it.
I know. All right. So we want to talk about Britt Baker and what is her name? Jamie Hayter?
Yeah, her debut match, Jamie Hayter. And I definitely do hate her. That was a match. That was a good match.
Yeah. She's a hard hitter, that girl.
She is, and you can tell that Britt wasn't, I don't know, I don't want to say she wasn't taking it well. She wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? When she got hit, I don't think she was expecting such a hard blow, because sometimes you could see that she's like, like, you know what I mean? A little bit more than she was expecting.
Really well, either way.
I mean, you could tell that she was getting knocked out.
You could tell Britt Baker was winded. She was getting run through the ringer in this match. And this girl, I'd never seen Jamie Hayter before. I don't know if where she's from, but I had never seen her. But like I said, she's a hard hitter, and she's she was a little green, I thought, but
a little green as far as the wrestling company. I've heard that she's super popular in the UK. Like she was.
Is she really? Okay.
She came from a company where she was pretty well known.
Yeah. That's fine. I've never seen her. I don't know.
I haven't either. I'm going off of the information that I've heard.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe she's not green at all. It's just me.
No, I think she was green in this match because it was her first time in AEW. It was her AEW green showing, but she's definitely going to be playing off the strong-willed heel wrestler.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I think it was because you're building up that thing with was it B Priestley?
Mm-hmm.
So this was someone that was similar in style, and stature to B Priestley. So it's kind of like, okay, that's kind of what we're gonna get. So it's it's good storytelling without storytelling, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely, definitely, and it was great. Britt won. Welcome to Pittsburgh, everyone, celebrating in her hometown. I'm so happy that she won.
That was cool. Yeah, she got the nice hometown welcome and all that stuff. Yeah,
I think that was her first win, her first singles win.
Was it?
I think so.
Oh man, yeah, because she's mostly been doing tag team except for the title. Yeah, you're right. Cool. All right, let's see. We got another tag team, Young Bucks and the Best Friends. We talked about that a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm. That was
going out of order. I'm just but
you're fine. Young Bucks and Best Friends. It was great. That's where I thought Jake Hager was going to come in. Until, of course, we find out that I found out later on he wasn't there. Another one that was great.
Orange Cassidy. Man.
Huh?
Orange Cassidy.
Oh. When they're doing that and he's just standing there with his hands in his pocket and they're like,
what are you doing, dude? This is our moment. What are you doing? It was just so hilarious.
Freshly squeezed.
I love that, though.
Do you know why Orange Cassidy is now AEW's picture? Why? They said that if they went trending again, that they were going to if they were number one trending, they were going to switch their profile picture to Orange Cassidy.
Ah, okay.
They put his picture up for a whole week.
And I think it was Trent that said, "Orange, are you good?" And he's like,
"Are you okay?" And he's like,
"Oh, this dude! I don't know anything about Orange Cassidy until AEW signed him, but man, I'm in love with the guy. He's just awesome.
Oh yeah, he's so what we call a comedy wrestler. I've watched some of his other matches. You can't he's not there to be seriously taken. He's there and he's just there to bring the laughs, but he wins sometimes. Yeah, that's a crazy thing.
And, oh man, and the Bucks do the hug. They do the best friends hug.
They do the best friends hug when they throw him out of the ring and then they fly out of the ring. Oh,
yeah. Oh man, it was so good. Their tag team wrestling in AEW is hands down the best tag team wrestling in the world. I think.
Yeah, the Young Bucks picked the best tag teams out there. I will say that, and they're high flying. I mean, Bucks and Best Friends were all over the place, and the tag moves between the two teams. One thing I gotta say though, with the referees, and I'm not complaining about this, I'm actually happy about it, is the referees aren't sticklers for the rules. When another tag partner comes out, they don't automatically stop them. There are times where other tag members will come into the ring and interrupt, and it'll be 2-on-1, and you don't have the referee like everywhere else where they'll be like, no, you got to get out. They don't stop it. They let the tag teams have their little moment. Sometimes they will when it's a heel moment. They'll hold the other guy back. But for the most part, the rules are there, but they're very lenient.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's good because it gives more action. It's kind of a hybrid style of the US and the Lucha Libre style where
New Japan a little bit.
Lucha Libre, you don't tag. It's just one guy goes out of the ring, the other guy comes in. There's no tags. So it's kind of hybrid of all that. And I do want to qualify my statement as saying they're the best hands down tag team wrestling. I don't keep up with every single promotion out there, so don't kill me if you disagree with that. That's just my opinion though of what I watch. But anyway, but yeah, no, I like that. I like that aspect of it.
And then it was a super kick party till the finisher, and that was that. And then they say Ortiz and Santana, we accept. So obviously this was a match to tell the world they accept the challenge, and that's going to be at Full Gear.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, definitely. And then we got Kenny Omega and Joey Janela, man.
Round two. They had a round on Dark, and it was really a non-sanctioned one, so it didn't count. This time around, it was a regular match, so the wins and losses count here. Oh, God, so many moves that were taken from that. From the Joey Janela flying out of the ring, to the 2 times Kenny Omega flew out of the ring, to that V-trigger that sent Joey Janela's head to the moon and back again.
Yeah. Oh, man. He was laid out over the ropes.
Yeah, he was done after that. That V-trigger was out of this world. Literally sending Joey Janela's body out of this world.
I love the fact that Kenny had to fight and fight and fight for this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was he was what do I got to do? This guy won't stop. It was like that. And both of them were just never say die. I'm going to get up No matter how many times you hit me, how many times you knock me down, how knocked out I am, I'm kicking out.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna hit you hard. And I'm gonna hit you hard.
Yeah, but after that V trigger, it was done.
After that V trigger, it was over.
It was over done. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I will say on social media, Jungle Boy was tweeting out that was an amazing match, and I said to Jungle, I actually replied to him and said it was an amazing match, and I forgot what I said next. I said, he's like, Joey Janela showed heart. I was like, when are we going to see? We should see Janela versus Jungle Boy. And he wrote me back and says, I hope. And everybody was like in text. So AEW, we want to see Joey Janela versus Jungle Boy. Let's make that happen. I want to see JVJ, Jungle Boy versus Joey Janela. I need to see that match now.
And I don't care if it's sanctioned, unsanctioned, Jurassic Street Fight, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Just that would be enough.
Joey Janela fight them. I want to see Joey Janela fight Jungle Boy now.
Yeah, that would be really good.
So everybody hashtag it up to AEW that you want to see Janela versus Jungle Boy.
Yeah. I will say this: Joey Janela is going to hold a title at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
I think they need to, I mean, obviously they're slowly rolling them out. They're putting the focus on the tag team titles right now, trying to build that up. You got the two main titles, the women's and the men's, but they need that secondary title at some point. And I think Joey Janela.
Oh, definitely, hands down. Hands down. He should be in the running at least.
Absolutely. All right, so then we got Moxley and Pac.
Oh, that match was brutal. I mean, Pac didn't even give entrance time. He just literally started beating the crap out of Moxley from the moment. Moxley was blindsided walking down the ramp to all the way. I mean, poor John. John had hardly any time to fight. Like he was pretty beaten and bruised up until towards the end where he started to get that second win. But one thing I have to complain about, and I agree with JR. I agree with JR that having a time limit puts a sense of urgency in your match, puts a sense of, I need to do this in a certain amount of time. I don't like it. And if you have to have it, fine. I don't like having it announced every 5 minutes. Brant and I were watching it together, that match, and we were Facebooking back and forth. They said there was 10 minutes left, 5 minutes left. Are they going to do a countdown? And what happened? 10, 9, all the way to 0, and then the bell rang. It's like, really?
Yeah. They counted. Yeah, it was literally they announced 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, 10, 9, 8. Yeah, and it was like it's overkill. You don't need that. I understand the time limit thing, but if they could do it like a different way, like pop up a clock on the screen, have a big screen where the wrestlers can see it and look up or whatever, or give your warning, do like figure out a buzzer or a bell or something that gives a 2-minute warning or something like that.
Having a guy on the loudspeaker saying 10 minutes remaining or 10, I didn't even think he'd do it for TV time. When it was like 5 minutes of TV time left, I'm like, well, I guess it is a time match then.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I think they're trying a little bit too hard with that. I understand the importance, and I agree with you on the urgency. It does give that, and it makes it interesting because you're against this clock, and everything can ramp up, and you get your rapid pinfalls and all that kind of stuff.
Not only that, but I mean, Moxley finally got like his paradigm shit on Pac, but Pac was still fresh enough that he kicked out of it at 2. And it's like that was when the countdown was happening. It was 3, 2, 1, 0. Yeah. And it's like the match is a draw now. And it's like, well, you have AEW Dark. Why not just say the match is to be continued at AEW Dark and run the match a little bit further?
Yeah, exactly. Do an overtime or something. But yeah, I don't know. That needs to be tweaked. That's one of the things that I think as they grow as a company, they'll learn and adjust and adapt. Hopefully.
No offense to save Pac's record. He already lost once. You don't have to make him end in a draw.
Yeah, that's what it felt like too. It's like, oh well, he's demanded that he can't lose to Moxley or something. You know what I mean? That's what it
do that. I
hope not either. And because I mean, there was that whole thing. He wouldn't like before they came to TV and everything. he refused to wrestle if he was going to lose. He wanted to win.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I'm being distracted by things going off on both of my sides.
It's okay. So it kind of concerns me that behind the scenes, maybe, but it could be that they're protecting both of them, so neither one looks weaker than the other. I don't know.
Dog sniffing my belt.
That's our show, folks.
That's our show, folks. Once the dog sniffs the belt, that means the time limit is up.
The time limit's up. We got 10, 9, 8. No, I'm kidding.
This was a great show, though. It was a great show. The tag matches, the tag tournaments, and Kenny Omega's match, by far my 3 favorites of the night.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes and the Inner Circle. And
that
all
was a great segment. That was a very great segment. Dark gave me my first cringe match. So, yes. I mean, that's a bad highlight, but it's still a highlight, and I think it could be built upon. I'm not saying that it's totally bad.
But again, that's what dark matches are for, too, to kind of work your stuff out, right? So we're privy to it where we're usually not. So.
So I loved it. It was a great week in AEW. If you haven't checked out Being the Elite, Sammy Guevara, if you haven't checked out AEW Dark, is on the AEW YouTube channel. Also, if you like any of the shirts you see on AEW, and as a matter of fact, on Pro Wrestling Tees right now, Sami Zayn is doing a charity for Syria, I think, and he teamed up with Pro Wrestling Tees, and on their main channel, it has like a T-shirt made for that by him, by a fake wrestling match, and all the proceeds go to the KennySyria.com charity.
Nice. Really cool.
Not Kenny, I'm sorry, the Sammy Syria.com, which is really awesome.
Yeah. And you can tune into Comic Frontline every Friday for new episodes of AEW Aftershock. Aftershock.
Jumping the shark.
We're
trying to be one of the best AEW programs. Speaking about AEW out there, I will say that. So, I mean, that's jumping the shark. I mean,
there you go. We just jumped the shark. AEW Aftershock every Friday right here on Comic Frontline.
It'll be a little earlier, though. We've been late the past 2 weeks due to a lot of stuff. Like, I know this is shameful. This is a shameful promotion, but it's not here, is it? It is not here. Not on this one, anyway. The background will change if I put it up. So, Celestial Falcons relaunch Kickstarter is out there. You can check it out on LastEmberPress.com/Kickstarter right now. Brant and I are working tirelessly on that each and every day. So that's where our huge focus of time. Brent's trying so hard to get it, so I'm trying to talk a little bit more about it. We are so close to 50 backers. As of right now, we are 4 backers away. We have something special. When we hit 50 backers, everyone who's backed the project is going to get something special, and then we're going to go beyond that. So it's now extended to even people who back the project digitally, correct?
Oh, yeah.
For every single backer now, every single backer from 50 back and 50 on will get a special, what would we call it, reward, bonus?
Yeah. Actually, I let the cat out of the bag on social media, so it's a digital bundle of independent comics.
So there you go. You get a bunch of digital independent comics from a lot of amazing indie writers and artists. Definitely check out the Kickstarter, and maybe you'll be the 50th. Let us know. Message us if you're the 50th backer, and we'll definitely shout you out on a live show that we do, or one of the shows that we do, that you were the 50th backer.
Absolutely.
That's special. And huge thank you to everybody before and after the 50th backer, though. We love all of you, and you're all going to get your moment to shine at some point. So LastEmberPress.com/Kickstarter, or search Celestial Falcon on Kickstarter for that. There you go. And don't forget, and I know that's here every Tuesday night. No, every Tuesday night on Frontline, 10 p.m. Eastern, is Comic Book Weekly. Episode 5 is next week. And that's where we talk about comic book news and comic books, our favorite books, our top books, big books that have come out. So if you like comic books and you want to check out 5 of us sitting down talking comic shop talk each and every week, is 10 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube and on Facebook every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go to this, which is, if you are new to the channel and you love AEW Aftershock, you love Comic Book Weekly, or you just love hearing all of us talk, you can click that subscription button. I'll never get it right. That subscription button right above my head, or above Brand's head, we have that notification bell where you'll be notified after you subscribe to the channel when we put out new content. And don't forget below Brand to like this video and like all the other stuff you enjoy on here to let YouTube know that you like it. And don't forget to follow us all over our social media at Comic Frontline all across the board. And Brant and myself, as you can see, I'm Dark Avenger C86 across the board on Instagram and Twitter. And Brant,
Brant Fowler and Last Summer Press.
There you go. So go ahead, Brant. You open this up. Let's close this out.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to AEW Aftershock. We will see you next week as we talk more AEW, and I get the name right. Bye, everybody.
And he gets his own name.
We'll see.